no hair of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no cloak being divided, nothing. They went back. When they came to the marketplace, they found Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala waiting for them. They said, you send us off to the mosque of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying that the relics of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam are being divided there. We didn't find anything. He asked them, what did you find? They said, we found two circles. One circle, the Quran was being taught there. The other circle, the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was being taught there. He said to them, this is the relic of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the estate of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now if we go back and look at the Ummah as a whole, we look at them and we ask ourselves, who are the most knowledgeable of the value of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He will say none other but the Sahaba, none other but his companions, his beloved companions, Ridwanullahu alayhim. We ask the Ashab, what do you value of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What is valuable to you? His amama sharifa, his na'al, his sandal, his cloak, his jumma, his toothstick, his salah, his worship, his character. What is valuable to you, O companion of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What will they say? They will say everything is valuable to us. His amama, his sandal, everything, his character, the way he worshipped, the way he slept, the way he ate, every single thing about him is value unto us. So we can't take from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam one thing at the expense of another. Like those companions in the marketplace when Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu approached them about the relics of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's take for example the amama sharif of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If one were to take this amama and say, well, let's divide this amongst the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or his na'la, his sandal sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or whatever he had of a relic, let's divide it up amongst the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and give each one a fair share of what was his. Would that be enough? Would that be enough to suffice for the entire ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? No. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not leave behind something that would not be enough for his entire ummah. If one were to take the amama, cut it up into 1,000 pieces or even more than that, or his jubba, or cut all of his relics, gather all of his relics and divide it up into 100,000 pieces, let's say for example, it would not be enough for the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say, I have something of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam with me. But Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not want his physical relics to be distributed amongst his people in order for them to claim we are part of this Prophet. But he left behind something more important, a metaphysical relic, a more practical relic, and that was his sunnah, his character, the way of life of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted all of us to be of his heirs. All of us to be of the people that inherit from him. That is why Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam left behind something which any one of us can acquire from him, can take from him and benefit from him. This depends upon our own resolve and our own determination. If we really want it, we can get it from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is not only for a certain group of people. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam left behind his way of life, his sunnah, his character for all of us, not for a certain group of people only. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran about Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam says, وَمَنْ تَبِعَنِي فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي. Whosoever follows me, he is part of me. Whosoever follows me, he is part of me. Look at this ayah. If you were to follow Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam like those who followed Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, then you would be part of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then the followers of Ibrahim alayhi salam were part of him when they followed him. Here this min is min at-tab'id. The min that means that you are part of something if it is used in a sentence. Now, هذا اليد من جسدي. This hand is part of my body. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Sayyidina Nuh, when Sayyidina Nuh's son was climbing up the mountain, trying to escape the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sa'awi ila jabalin ya'simuni. I will go up to the mountain. It will protect me from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sayyidina Nuh looked at him and said, no, it will never protect you from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was in tears speaking to his son. And then he called out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and said, Inna ibni min ahli. He said to Allah, my son is of my family. My son is of my family, oh Allah, help me please. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said unto him, Qala ya Nuh. Allah said, O Nuh, innahu laysa min ahlik. He is not of your family. Even though he was blood relation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, no, he is not of your family. Why? Innahu amalun ghayru salih. Because he is a non-pious deed. He is a non-pious deed. From this particular ayah we can relate clear signs or clear indications that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant here that if you want to be part of a prophet, we don't look at physical relation or blood relation. We look at ittiba', at fellowship. We look at ittiba'. We look at following. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looked at the son of Nuh and looked at him and saw no fellowship to his father. No connection in terms of his acceptance of his message. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Innahu amalun ghayru salih. He is a non-pious deed. He did not follow in your footsteps. He did not